G'day and welcome to A Down Under Yarn. I am your host Fiona, also known as Fifikins. If you find someone on the internet called Fifikins, it is probably me. Today is Thursday, the 2nd of January 2014. Happy New Year. I will be covering goals later on, and I hope that this year brings everyone everything they desire. And for some people, I hope this year is as good as last year. For other people, I hope it's better than last year. 2013 was an interesting year. I think I'll leave it at that. This is episode number 53. This is episode number 53 of A Down Under Yarn, and I'm also the dyer behind Solar Flare Fibres. There will be a shop update at the end. Welcome especially to new viewers. Welcome to returning viewers. Thank you so much for the amazing reception last week's episode received. The being on location was lots of fun. The swan stance was fun, and yes, I almost did fall in the water. I just went the other way and pretended it was a weird dance move. If you haven't seen it, I've been told it's just so hilariously funny. I don't know if I'd go that far myself, but it might be something you might want to check out. The week that was, it's really only been a few days since I've podcasted last. Thanks also for the Podiversary love. So many people are saying lovely things about that, which is very nice. I've had yarn orders arrive. I had part of my yarn orders arrive before Christmas, on Christmas Eve, and the rest have arrived this week. So I've been dyeing up quite a bit. New Year's Eve was interesting. We went to some colleagues, friends of Mimmels, and they're in their 20s and 20s, early 30s. And probably are used to partying a lot harder than what Mimmel and I are used to partying. I had a pretty okay night, nothing to write home about. Had a few drinks, but not overboard. Mimmel is not used to drinking a lot, and apparently everyone loves him anyway, and it's understandable to see why. So he's been getting lots of nice messages in the last couple of days telling him how funny he was. Anyway, yesterday was a recovery day. I didn't have a headache or anything yesterday morning. I was just tired, lack of sleep. So anyway, that's on to today. This is my second podcast for the day, you might be saying, what? Did something get lost? No, I was actually a guest on the Knit Two Together podcast with the amazing Hayley and Lisa. So I will link to that in the show notes and encourage you to check that one out. Now, Administratia. I have 3 drawers to do today. So let's quickly get through that. I was going to do it earlier, but didn't. So now, I did have this open on my random number generator, and I had it open on my forums and then lost it, but it's here now. The first drawer is the 250 member drawer. Now that is for the prize. I'm sorry about that. Shush. Come on, shush. Okay. The 250 member prize draw, and I really am sorry if you had earbuds in then. It's okay. She's gone away now. So, for the 250th member prize draw, I said the prize was to be my Measured in Love hat, which I just adore, but won't get a lot of wear of here, and hope that someone else will. And I was going to draw some yarn from my stash. I'm parting with it, and it's not because I don't love it, but I love it so much that I want someone else to enjoy it as well. This is Yarn vs Zombies. It's from the Tea and Stripes Club last January, and it's called Cleopatra's Champagne. It's the vampire base, which is 75% merino, 10% nylon, 5% sparkle, 100 grams, 400 yards. And I don't know if you can see some of the sparkle in there. You can see some of the sparkle. Really is a beautiful yarn, but I can't see myself knitting with it anytime soon. And I hope that someone else can get some joy from it. So there are 2 prizes. The first one is the hat. The second one is the yarn. We had 40 entries, and I asked you to tell me which charities you like to support. So we are going from number 2 to number 46. I'm not sure if you can see that there. 2 to 46. I'm going to press generate. Number 40 is the winner of the hat. Number 40, it actually goes to number 40. And I tipped 46, which is quite funny. But number 40 anyway is Flances. And Flances likes to support her local food bank and local animal shelters. So Flances, who is Jackie from Washington, please get in touch with me and I will be mailing the hat to you. I'm just going to change the second number to 40 because there are only 40 entries. And I'm going to hit generate again. And this is for the yarn. There's a weather warning. That's number 36. So both people have entered in the last couple of days, I think. Number 36 for the yarn is Yell 737. And as I am always donating to the Humane Society. They are one of my favourites. I donate to others too, but that is my most common one. So Yell 737, who is Danielle from Wenatchee. I think it's Wenatchee, which is somewhere in the States. And she's got a couple of beautiful looking dogs and a fantastic yarn ball tattoo as well. So please contact me and I will get the yarn out to you. Now our second prize drawing is the Solar Flare Fibres finished objects from October to December. So what I ask people to do is when you finish a project with Solar Flare Fibres, put it in the appropriate thread. There's a finished object thread. There's also a quarterly finished object thread, and the winner from that will win a skein of their choice of Solar Flare Fibres. We had 16 posts. I was the first post, so I've got post number 2 to number 16. There we go. Just let me double check that that's there. Yep, 2 to 16. I'm going to hit generate. Number at post 11. Post 11 is the amazing Cajun Princess who I met and gave her yarn to. She has knit the most beautiful hat in the Happy New Year colourway. It says it reminds her of waves, so fitting for a Cairns gift. So I'm really, really pleased. Please contact me, Shannon, and I will be sending you a new skein of Solar Flare Fibres in your choice of bases and colourways. Now there will be more talk about bases soon. The third giveaway is the Gunner Cal. Now the Gunner Cal was from November and December, where we were finishing off the things we were going to do. There were 83 posts. Some posts have been deleted because there was a little bit of chatter in there, but that's okay. So I'm going to click generate, and this is for another skein of Solar Flare Fibres. So again, if you win this, contact me. Post number 38. Post number 38, which will be on the second page. And 36, 36, 37, 38 was deleted. So I'm going to click generate again. Post 75, which will be at the bottom of the third page. And this is actually probably quite fitting because it's someone who did a lot of things she was going to do. This is Embroidery Queen, who has done the most amazing number of project bags. After saying, you know, I've been wanting to do these, is that okay? And that's Nicole. And it's just beautiful that to see that she's actually been able to get this done. So lovely. Nicole, contact me and I will get a skein of yarn out to you. So that is our draws. We still have our Potiversary draw. That is being drawn next week. And for the Potiversary, I've asked you to tell me your favourite place based on my trip out to Crystal Cascades last week. So there are 31 entries there at the moment. Let's see how many we can get before next Wednesday when I record again. Tuesday for some people in the world. It depends. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention is the poppies. The crafting of poppies for the anniversary, the 100th year anniversary of World War I and of the landing at Anzac Cove, or Anzac Day, which is very big in Australia's history. And if you're interested, I will put another link in the show notes. I'm going to be doing some more poppies in the lead up to the anniversary and would love to see some other people get involved in that too. I think now I can get on to the crafting. So finished objects. I finished Mum's Salomas, which I haven't sent out to her yet. I've still got them here. So here they are, both of them here. I think they're both the same. This is just some actually Bendigo classic yarn that I dyed up myself. It's a lot more purple than what it's showing there. There we go. That's quite accurate, even though it's not that. There we go. So that's the purple there. I did find my other one for my brother that I couldn't find out at Crystal Cascades. I've also woven in all the ends. So they're ready to go. I will bundle them up and get them in the post possibly tomorrow, seeing it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. Now, whips. I will be getting onto my goals soon, and that will have something to do with my whips. I am trying to work on an old project and a new project each week. To show you, this week I have the Twining Trees pillow, which is for some friends who got married last July. It's ending up, it's probably going to be an anniversary present, although I do hope to get this finished in the next couple of weeks. This is a cushion. I will link to it in the show notes because I haven't taken down the details. It's based on a square and I'm turning it into a cushion. Yeah, they're the bottoms of the trees. That's how far I've got. There's 2 trees. And I'm knitting it in the round. I'm doing a stockinette back so that I can insert a cushion. I just cast on with Judy's Magic Cast On. It's a free pattern. So yeah, and then I'm reading it from the chart because then I know that I'm in the round. So that is that. The yarn for this is just Peyton's Inca, which is 100% wool. It's from Spotlight. It's natural undyed. It's not, I'm sorry, it's 50% pure new wool, 30% acrylic, 20% alpaca. Made in China. Hand wash only. I don't think I thought that one through, did I? Anyway, hopefully they won't be needing to wash the pillow very often. It is a super bulky yarn as well, or bulky anyway. The second one that I wanted to show you is a new thing that I've cast on. I cast on for New Year's Day, and that is the Low Tide Cardigan by Tin Can Knits. I am knitting this out of the Woolmise Pure in the Aquarius colourway. Now this is a gorgeous cardigan. It's been in my queue for some time. You knit the 2 front panels. Here is the first front panel, which is that front panel there. There you go. So you knit 2 front panels. Wow, it actually looks like it might actually fit. There's the first, so that would be the right or the left? I'm not sure anyway. It's one of the front panels. You can see the beautiful lace pattern on there, which is meant to remind you of the ripples at low tide, which I really, really love. I'll be blocking this before picking up stitches. That is one. I did most of that yesterday. I just was so tired that I had to put it down because I kept forgetting yarn overs, and I've got that on waste yarn now ready for the next part. It's actually a greener colour than what is showing there. Let me see. Oh, there we go. So that's not even accurate anyway. It's a beautiful colour. I'm really, really pleased with it, and I think it's going to suit me. I have started the second one. I've done 1 repeat out of a few that I've got to do. So I'll get that done, then I do the back ones, then I pick up and knit stockinette. Could be interesting. So looking forward to getting that done. Spinning, there is no spinning. Acquisitions, I'll quickly talk about acquisitions. You may have noticed my Chinese needles arrived. I have them, I'm using them for this. I've got it in my show notes what size needles I'm using. I didn't actually swatch. I'm using what is recommended. And I had the packet here for one of them. That's what they come as, Rui Zhang Premium Circular High Knitting Needles. It's interesting on the back, if you read the back though, it actually says further products in the Addy range, which is interesting. I like them. They're not as sharp as they could be. I don't think that's going to matter in the stockinette section. And look, I can do the knit 3 together, okay, so it's not so bad. The second acquisition, my gift yarn arrived from Desert Vista Dye Works. I visit each month. There is an inspiration thread for Desert Vista Dye Works. My inspiration was chosen for December. When we were going to Germany, I chose Black Forest Cake, And there is the yarn. It's in a beautiful striping yarn there. And a Viso base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, fingering weight approximately 462 yards. I'm definitely going to knit Mimel some socks out of this, which it's a lot of fun. It's got, you know, chocolate and light chocolate and cherries and cream. And looks really, really yummy. The third acquisition I've been meaning to mention for a couple of weeks and kept forgetting. You know, I keep yarn there so I can see the yarn, but not necessarily books. And I'm not going to review this today, but I just wanted to show it. This is Spinning and Dyeing Yarn by Ashley Martineau. The Home Spinner's Guide to Creating Traditional and Art Yarns. I don't know if you can see the beautiful bookmark that came with it, which is some of Ashley's spinning. I'm going to write to Ashley and say, wow, this is just amazing. You can see there, Nouveau Fibre Art, handspunartyarn.com and shopnouveau.com. I am just... She even signed it. I am amazed at this book. It talks about different types of fibres, fibre identification and preparation. It goes into coarse wools, caring for wools, using hand garners. I'm just flipping at random here. Dyeing fibre, different ways of dyeing fibre. And that dyeing fibre is something I am getting into. Her bit on solar dyeing is interesting, not how I do it, which is really interesting again, to find someone else writing about solar dyeing and doing it in a different way. And then we go on to spinning techniques. There's information on drop spindles, creating your own spinning wheel, Navajo plying, plying basics. So there you go. How to build your own spinning wheel. How awesome is that? I think that's pretty awesome. Core spinning bats, core spinning with wire, fancy core spinning locks, thread wrapping, plying basics, you know, plying bubbles, plying coils, plying shells, plying cocoons, Navajo plying, art buccal yarns, sluggy plying, setting art yarns. Absolutely amazing, and I would really recommend you get your hands on this book. I'm probably not going to do a thorough review of it, just what I've shown you today, but I just love it, and I'm so glad I bought it. I can't even remember if it came up on Plurk or in Ravelry or something where it was linked to. I've forgotten I'd ordered it until I got an email from Ashley saying, I'm really sorry, but overseas postage is going to be a lot more than I thought. It's going to be X, and I just said, that's fine. But she said, you know, if you don't want to order it, I understand. Yeah. Talks about how to wash wool, different ways of washing it, building a drying rack. Absolutely phenomenal book. If you're into spinning and if you're into any sort of dyeing, really I recommend this a lot. So that is the acquisition. I'm going to now go on to goals before I do the shop update, because I know some people don't hang around. Now, 12 months ago I sat here, and I can say that now that I'm in my second year of podcasting, and I talked about my goals. And I've actually got my notebook out again. This is my show notebook, which I haven't actually used for some time. And I said that my goals, on the 13th of the 1st last year, in episode number 3, I set my 2013 goals. My health was to go to the gym 3 times a week, to look at my nutrition, and to go to the paleo seminar. And yeah, didn't end up going to the gym 3 times a week most weeks. Usually went once or twice. This year I am looking at going 2 to 3 times a year. That's not changed. And I'm trying, my goal for this year is to be kind to myself. And that means I do have to watch what I put in my body. I know that I don't tolerate gluten very well at all. And if I have gluten, I get itchy and I get bloated and I have stomach pains. And yes, sometimes if there's some fresh baked bread, it's worth it. And I will say, I will have some stomach pains. I will have some itches because it is fine. It's not going to send me into anaphylactic shock or anything like that. Same with dairy. Dairy just gives me immense wind. But sometimes cheese is great. Sometimes pizza is fantastic. But it can't be all the time. And that's something I've got to focus on. And the same with sugar. Sugar is just not good for me. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which one of the things in my goodie bag with that is insulin resistance, which means I'm at risk of developing diabetes. And if I can actually control that with diet now, before having to go on insulin injections, I'd be crazy not to do that. So that's what I've got to try and do. And it's to do it for me, but it's also to do it for my family. So that's something I really want to look at. For knitting goals, I wanted to continue to enjoy and explore, do a stranded colourwork hat, which I did. I wanted to knit 6 pairs of socks, 6 toys, 6 shawls, 2 garments, and work from my queue. I didn't actually work out about working from my queue when I did these up. Okay, so what did I actually achieve last year? Put it this way, 2012, I think I knit about 5 or 6 kilometres. And so I remember thinking that's enough from walking from here into the city or doing a 5K or thereabouts. In 2013, I knit 13.8 kilometres or just over 15,000 yards. There were 39 finished objects because there was one pair of socks that I had started in 2012. I knit 11 shawls, 7 hats, 5 adult garments, 4 mittens, 4 pairs of finished socks, 2 pairs of slippers, 2 kids' garments, 1 ornament, 1 toy, 1 snuggle, and 1 necklace. So looking forward to 2014, I'm thinking my goals at the start of last year are vastly different to what my goals are at the start of this year, and no doubt will be different to the goals at the start of next year again. And they will change over the year, but it's always good to have some thoughts about what are some of the priorities of things I'd like to do. My first one is I'm going to get 2 projects off the needles for everyone I cast on. So I've got some things, I've got one thing, I've got it down as 95% finished. It's a baby's cardigan, which I'm turning into a vest. I need to do some I-cord around the sleeves and sew some buttons on. Now that won't take me long, but I need to get that done. And that's been on the needles now for almost 2 years. It's been at that stage for almost 12 months. So I just need to do it. Just do it. So I want to get 2 things. I've got 12 whips at the moment in my Revelry projects. And I've looked at them all, and I don't want to frog any of them. I like them all, and I want to get them done. So I need to get them done. I want to knit 6 adult garments. Well, this will be number 1. 6 pairs of socks. Finish 6 pairs of socks. I want to knit 12 ornaments. I have the Arnie and Carlos book. I want to knit 1 a month. I want to do 1 blanket, which will be the Vivid blanket, and that will be out of my own hand-dyed yarn. So I can use that as a shop sample as well. And I want to do 4 projects from Deep Stash. That's for me is stash that's more than 2 years old. And that's usually stuff that I bought when I was starting knitting. And I went back and had a look, and I was going to say 18 months, and I thought, no, 2 years, because I've actually got some stuff in there which is really, really nice yarn that I paid far too much for on eBay, but I want to use it up. I haven't listed any shawls. I know I'm going to knit shawls. I'm not going to go for 12 of anything. I'm not going to go for 13 of anything. Ideally, I think I'd like to do more adult garments this year. I've got sweater quantities or top quantities for summer weight tops in about 5 or 6 different yarns at least, and I want to use those. I'm not going on a yarn diet. I think that when you say no to something, you immediately crave it more. I haven't bought yarn for a couple of days. I did put an order in the other night. I was looking through my queue and thinking of all the things I wanted to knit, and then I went over to the Skein website and just thought, I've been eyeing off some sport weight yarn for over 12 months. I should just buy it, and I did. I put in the order, and I can't wait to get it because I know that Kristen does the most beautiful yarn, and I don't have any sport weight yarn in a sweater quantity. So there's that. That's coming through. Now that I'm dyeing yarn, I'm probably not buying as much as I did, but at the same time, I'll always be buying self-striping sock yarn because I love it, and I'm not going to be dyeing self-striping sock yarn. I'll often see colourways that I just love that other people have done and go, yeah, I really, really want that. It's just fantastic. I'm not going to say I'm not buying yarn because I know that I will. I'm going to try and buy yarn that I can see myself using within a reasonable time frame. That's probably within the next 5 years. that's reasonable. I'm going to try not to buy yarn for the sake of buying yarn. I don't need a bigger stash, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with collecting things. And if one of my collections is yarn, so be it. When I'm gone, if my family decides to break up my collection anyway, that's up to them. I know some people collect teaspoons, some people collect flags, some people collect teapots, some people collect anything. I collect yarn, and I'm happy to admit that. I don't mind that I'm going to have more yarn than I'm ever going to be able to finish knitting with, because part of me, it is having it here and being able to use it. I don't have a yarn store up here that I can just walk into and buy extra yarn. So I'm probably at I suppose, a disadvantage compared to some people who can just go to, they've got 2 or 3 local yarn stores in their general area, and they know that they'll be able to go there. It means that I will from time to time stock up on things. So that's just how it is with me. I also would like to spin at least 12 4-ounce braids this year. That's one a month. I figure that's more than reasonable. So they're my goals. Yes, I would like to do some steeking. I haven't written that down. I probably should. I have got a steeked coffee cozy in my projects, and if I end up just doing that, that would be it. I would like to do a colourwork sweater, but I don't know if that's going to be this year or next year. We'll just wait and see. The reality is, I only need to do one heavy sweater a year as a Bendigo sweater, for want of a better terms. I don't go to Rhinebeck at the moment. And I don't need to be knitting lots and lots of sweaters. I would love to do, there's a couple of Kate Davies patterns that are just beautiful. There's one that's a short sleeve. Is it the dolls, paper dolls? There might be paper dolls that's short sleeve. That would be sensible for me to do. Don't know if I'm going to do it this year. I don't have the yarn for it this year. I've got yarn for other things, and I want to use that. So there you have it. They're my goals. Now I've got them in here. I've got them on here now, and I'll be referring to them throughout the year. I'd like to also knit from my queue again. I mean, I've said that, but I add to my queue, and I think at the start of last year my queue was 3 pages long. Now it's 5 pages long. I don't think I'd like to see it get much longer. I go through from time to time and take things out, but everything that's in there at the moment, I really want to knit at some stage. So I know at times I'm going to have to be reasonable, but there you go. So that is my goals. We're now going to move on to shop stuff. And I know I say if you don't want to hang around, don't hang around, but I'm introducing new bases this week, and you might want to hang around. I have 2 new bases going in this week, and I'm going to have 2 to 3 new bases next week. And these are heavier bases. One of the bases next week will be a fingering base, which will be new to the shop, but not new to club members. So the first new base is going to be called the EOS base, EOS, and it is 100% BFL DK. It's not superwash. I wanted to have one, apart from my lace weight, which isn't really superwash. I wanted to have one non-superwash colourway in the shop, because I know that, especially for people who do like doing colour work is better in non-superwash yarns. It actually dyes up differently. It is something different. And I chose BFL because I like BFL. There's lots and lots of merino out there, but this is a BFL. So this is the EOS base, BFL DK, not superwash, 246 yards, about 225 metres per 100 grams. And these are 100 gram skeins. First one is in Heartthrob. I went back to some of my old favourite colours and a couple of different ones as well. And you can see it's a lot more saturated on the DK. So Heartthrob, we have sort of a green, which is there. We have, now this one was business as usual. But it's very difficult to see the difference between the blues and the browns. They tend to have actually melded together a lot more on this than they do in the fingering way, or they did on the when I did the superwash as well. So it's got different values of almost khakis, and it's a very masculine colorway. If you're looking to do a masculine hat, I think this would be absolutely perfect. Almost didn't put it in the shop because I thought I was going to need a hat for Mimel, and I thought, no, I've got to sell it. Next one is Blue Rocks, which we haven't seen for a while on fingering either. This has different shades of blues and greys. You can kind of see that there. There will be photos going up. We have Eminence, which is a pretty purple. It's a pinky purple. If I bring it forward a bit more, there we go. That's probably a bit closer for Eminence. And we have one of the favourites which people seem to like, which is Happy Accident. And that is purples and blues and reds. So it's blues and reds overdyed with purple, basically. So they are the DK colourways that are going up. You probably won't see this podcast beforehand, but there will be links on the Facebook site and on my Twitter, which is Fifykins, to the latest newsletter, which is going out this evening. And there is something in there that you might want. I've been encouraging people to sign up for the newsletter, and I've had so many new subscribers this week, which is fantastic. There will be a special thank you going out in the newsletter this evening, just letting you know. The second base I am exceptionally excited about. It is another Australian base. It is the Wala base, W-A-L-A, Wala. 100% pure Australian wool. It's mainly merino cross wool, but it is really soft. It is superwash. The big thing about this is it is coming in 200 gram skeins. I may in future break it down and have some 100 gram skeins, but I thought they're actually, for worsted weight, getting a skein with more yardage sometimes works out a lot better, especially for patterns like the Martina Bem, the brickless, which people are knitting a lot of at the moment. This, I hope, would be seen by some as being a fantastic yarn for that. So it's about 440 yards or 400 metres. Light worsted weight. Here we go. This is it. This is the Eyes Have It. Sorry, the Eyes Have It, which is my beautiful electric blue. I am going to be dyeing up some silk in this to knit myself a bonnie because it's my blue. I really love it. There is that. I've only got 3 of these this week. Time got away from me. I have Zombified, which is the amazing green. It's more electric. There we go. Sort of there. It's not really showing how electric it is in there, with the bits of purple as well. Splotched throughout. It really is just splotched with that technique. And the third one is Dragon Scales, which has come out a lot more Dragon Scales than the last one I did on a fingering weight. So there is those 3. They will be going up. There will be pre-order slots for these 2 bases, and there will be 2 to 3 new bases next week as well. There are still some spots available in the club, so make sure you, if you are interested in the club where the rainforest meets the reef, its yarns are going to be dyed based on where I live in the tropics. So there'll be, think flora, fauna, fish, anything like that. The neighbours are just starting up there right on lawnmower. They were whippersnippering before, so I need to get moving. There is that. This week there'll be lots of dyeing. The kids are still away this week. I've been trying to get in touch with them and haven't been able to, so see how I go this evening. I think that's about it. So I will say, uru, cheers, bye.